welcome back. So let's continue with part 2 of where we started off from this morning, when we're looking expansively at the implications of the alignments and political realignments that we've been seeing shaping the coming 2027 general elections. Of course, the big one being the planned defection of the governor of Bauchi State to the ADC. And joining us on this one is a former National Publicity Secretary of the People's Democratic Party and currently a member of the African Democratic Congress. Mr. Kola Ologbodiyan joins us from our Abuja studio this morning. And you're welcome to the program. It's good to see you, sir.
Thank you very much, Bukola. Good morning and Happy New Year to you in March. Or in April.
You know, we already said that in Nigeria we have a word for every greeting, or a greeting for every occasion. So it's good to see you. Happy New Month.
I want to add Happy New Month to it.
So it's unfamiliar terrain introducing you as a member of the ADC. We've always known you to be a PDP person. And so, first of all, it's curious that your exit from the PDP was unceremonious, maybe quiet. Perhaps you want to explain that to us. And is it true that since the defection of the former governor of Kano State and leader of the Kwankwasia movement, that the membership of the ADC has seen a surge?
Okay, thank you very much, Bukola. The moment that the People's Democratic Party was reduced to a battleground where eminent Nigerians were being flogged inside the hollow hall of the National Executive Committee at the Wadata Plaza, and in furtherance to that, the moment I began to read disclaimers of eminent Nigerians on the pages on the pages of newspapers and on the social media, I felt I was done, and I didn't want to bring myself to such a disrepute. And on account of that, I withdrew my membership of the People's Democratic Party, and I made it very, very public. So, but because if you permit me, I wouldn't want to go into any forms of revisionism in the People's Democratic Party. I think, having withdrawn my membership, I think I'm just okay. Now, talking about the movement to the African Democratic Congress, well, let me say that it's a desire to build an alternate political party where those who are not interested in using the People's Democratic Party to further the governance of President Tinubu believe that let's leave this platform, because this platform is going to be used for Tinubu. So let's go and find a space, another environment. And like I've said repeatedly, even we must make the impact that goes to the ordinary Nigerian out there the first design and the first desire. What if we are introducing the policy? How does it affect Nigerians? I think that is one thing that I have noticed in the African Democratic Congress. That let us pursue policies, let us pursue policies that will create a semblance, a form of egalitarianism. When we talk about ideology, ADC is not focused on the ideological trends of the Western world. ADC is focusing on the ideological trend or what affects Nigerians. Let me give you a practical example here. And I remember it was on this platform when the Asiwaju Tinubu's government was coming up with a subsidy regime. And I remember I came here. You invited me here, and I was there. I said, look, this subsidy regime should not be total. I said, I am not opposed to the subsidy, but I believe that subsidy should be a form of a government, a form of a system that can be done in gradual phasing. Oh, but they said no, it cannot be done in gradual phasing. It has to be done in totality. It has to be taken off. I said, look, what you want to do as a government is that you are now dipping your hands into the pockets of the ordinary Nigerians, taking their little incomes that are available and now giving it to the governors who might not even use it in the essence of the people. So first and foremost is the citizen first for the ADC. Beyond that, like I said earlier, we are thinking of an egalitarian society in which we have social democracy, but we concern to the market. What I mean is this: the government the government of ADC will not seize the market forces and run away with it. No, we will recognize it, but in doing that, what's the impact on the public? What is the impact on Nigerians? And we talk about security. Foremost, this is personal to me. I believe that Nigeria has not defined the war they are fighting. What is causing this insecurity? And as the National Public Secretary of the People's Democratic Party, I often took this before the Buhari's government, that we need to define the war that we are fighting. Are we being invaded by through external aggression? Is it internal conflict within our region? We talk about banditry, we talk about terrorism. Who are those behind this? We haven't defined that. I think the ADC has a program that will be definite about the war that we are fighting. My heart and the hearts of ADC, I can say this, goes to the people of Angwan Rukuba in Plateau State, as well as the Kagaku people. But I think that paying lip services to death that are running into hundreds, and we say, oh no, we have directed the military, we have directed the security agencies, we have done this, we have done that. I think what we need to do goes beyond that. I think we need to go deeper, and I think ADC is working on that. So I think the biggest problem we have today in Nigeria essentially is about insecurity, which you mentioned. And I think that for the ordinary Nigerians, even surviving, even feeding has become a problem. And these are the issues that the ADC is taking into consideration.
You said the ADC is working on that, Mr. Ologbodiyan, but some would say that Nigerians are really in between the devil and the deep blue sea, and there really isn't any more credible choice to pick from come 2027. Because if you look at the characters and the ADC, it seems like the ADC is made up of those who have left either the PDP or the APC into the ADC. And some of them worked for the last administration, and the last administration was unable to solve a number of the problems that we're still battling with as a nation. And so why should we trust these individuals who are positioning for power with power when they have had the opportunity before but were unable to solve the country's problems?
Well, Bukola, I don't think that there is any form of government, and this is my own candid prayer, that will come after this administration, after the 11 years of this administration, that can take us to a worse situation than this. I don't want to believe so, and I don't pray it happens. It happens. Because when you say that, oh, it is the old people that are coming, the people who have been this, people who have been that, in the political arena, there are no saints. There's nowhere you can bring saints into this place. So it is also the same people. And even the people we are talking about, that, oh, I mean, the people in the APC, they were also somewhere. If you look at the APC, the conglomeration of APC today, I can clearly say that 70 to 80% of them are people who come from other political parties. So on the analogy of the deep blue sea and the devil that you are proposing, I think that the nation can still make the best out of the situation in which we have found ourselves. By first and foremost saying that, look, we have seen what APC has done in 11 years or in 12 years. And we need now to clinically review the system in a manner that we can bring in a new government. I hold to this view. I believe in it, because no matter how you look at it, no matter where you are coming from, no matter what you want to say, I think that the APC government in the last 11 or 12 years has done worse than even the PDP. So why are people clamoring today that, oh, let us run government? under the PDP affairs is brought back. Why are they saying so? Konjo Iweala and others. Why are they clamoring for them? Because the economy of that time, no matter how we look at it today, was far better than what we are witnessing. And I don't need anybody to come and show me bookish data. I want us to talk about what is the practical situation, what is the reality, how many of Nigerians today can get their health system. As we speak now, I don't know about you guys, but in the last 6 or 7 months, I have attended more burials than I've attended weddings, because people are dropping, because they do not have the right medication, because they do not have the right diagnosis. And on account of that, they can't fend for their health situation. So we must face the reality, we must face the practicality of what we can achieve and what we can attain. Thank you very much, Bukola.
As we begin to wind down, I'm still trying to stay, I'm trying as much as possible to stay away from policy issues, because I think it's early in the day, perhaps, to talk about policy. But I want to stay with the politics as far as the few weeks that is left for the decision to be made. So from what we see that there are 2 movements in the party, the Konkwesiya movement, the Obedient movement, and then Atiku has brought his own as well when it comes to the region, religion, and all of the permutation looking around. But what do you think the ADC can do to be able to maybe psychologically walk through the minds of people, which I feel the APC has done in terms of the movement of these governors and all these legislators who feel like it's a done deal in that sense? But you guys argue that governors may move doesn't mean the people will move. But what are you doing practically to ensure that you get the buy-in of the grassroots? Because that's where the real game happens, the grassroots politics and grassroots politicians. What are you doing exactly to get the buy-in of the people at the grassroots to give APC a run for their money?
Thank you very much, Geoffrey. If you follow the trajectory of the ADC since this new leadership under Senator David Mark, you will discover that every action of the party is organic. We were in Kano a few days back, and you could see the tumultuous crowd that came out along the streets and at the venue. This is organic. It's not something that, oh, you go and pay people, or government that to influence the people who are in the public service that if you don't attend, will sack you. And I can say that in every area of this country today, that when it concerns ADC, look at the registration, online registration that we are doing. When it concerns the ADC, people on their own are bringing out their funds to achieve purpose. People by themselves, not forced by any individual, are raising money on their own. And when it gets to that level, it's a reaction to the sitting government. And if you recall, in 2013, 2014, it got to that level with Nigerians. That because they believe that they don't want to go further with this, they decided by themselves to say, we'll fund ourselves, we'll fund our ways. And what happened at the end of the day? Despite the huge resources available to government, Nigerians expressed themselves and they delivered the candidate that they wanted. We are on the same trajectory, Geoffrey. Don't listen to what these guys are saying on the other side. You can pull 36 governors. Are you sure that the 36 governors are with you? That's the question. But Geoffrey, permit me not to sit down here and divulge the strategy of the ADC going ahead to 2027. Thank you very much.
Well, Mr. Ologbodiyan, we must wind down now. I'm just curious. Would you be supporting the candidature of Alhaji Atiku Abubakar or that of Mr. Peter Obi or Rabiu Musa Kwankwaso should this go to the primaries?
Well, Buki, you try. You're waiting, you know, if you get by direct question. You want to go by the sides and get it. But I want to give you an assurance, that the party is working in line with the amendment to the Electoral Act to pursue consensus or direct primary. I know direct primary It's like we are holding an election for every Nigerian. So that way, Nigerians can elect their president ahead of even the real election itself. But by the way, I want to give you assurance, and through you assure Nigerians, that ADC will be cohesive to the end. Thank you very much.
Well, Mr. Ologbodiyan, well played, as they say. But we wonder, we've been seeing your colleagues dance. Mr. Kenneth Okonkwo, for example, this is him dancing for Mr. Atiku Abubakar. So, Mr. Ologbodiyan, I'm sure you've seen that dance video. A lot of people are wondering, when is your dancing going to happen as well?
Dancing? Well, first and foremost, I don't think I'm a good dancer. So, and I know that not many people have seen me dance. Not many people have seen me dance. So, I will have different approaches to issues. There are those who want to talk. There are those who want to read. There are those who want to dance. Whatever approach that we deploy, the end game is what is important. Let's achieve purpose. And I believe ADC has come to put the citizens first. Not to go and be borrowing money running into 155 trillion. And they're saying that you are building infrastructure, or that you are for budget deficit, you are paying budget deficits and all that. Whereas the closest place to us here in Abuja now, as we are speaking now, is Lugbe. Go and check the road infrastructure of Lugbe, which is under the nose of the government and Mr. President.
Well, the dancing sure gets us talking. It makes us wonder why, if the motivation for dancing has begun to fly around. But don't answer that one, Mr. Ologbodiyan. We must anchor at this point, and thank you very much for coming on the show. Mr. Kola Ologbodiyan is a member of the ADC and former National Publicity Secretary of the People's Democratic Party. Thank you for coming on the Morning Brief, and we look forward to another engagement.
Thank you very much, Nicola. Thank you. Thank you, Geoffrey.
And so we'll take a moment now. When we return, it will be time to scrutinize yet another borrowing spree, or if you like, a loan request by the administration, amongst other economic issues. Stay with us. We'll be right back.